What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another Stock Hours video. Here I am bringing you another interview, but this time with Student of the Month, Alan. And with Alan here today, I've actually watched him develop for months now. Alan, I've watched literally, I would say, grow up in the stock market, as you can say. I remember Alan making a couple $100s, and now Alan's, making more than me on some days. So I can't wait to talk to Alan. I'm actually very excited today. I don't usually get excited about interviews, but I'm definitely excited to talk to Alan today. And we're going to go ahead into detail on how he did it, how he developed as a trader, and basically all the fundamentals maybe I never get to talk about because it's been years since I've started trading. But Alan's such, freshly new to this industry. Obviously, he's doing very nicely for a freshly new student. But he can talk about things that I may forget to talk about, and not every story is successful, but Alan here brings us a successful story, and I can't wait to hear it. So here we are with Alan. How are you, Alan?
I'm pretty good, bro. Thank you for that introduction.
Appreciate it. So I'm happy to bring up Alan. So the first thing I'm going to ask Alan to do is, just talk about yourself, where you're from. What state do you live in, brothers and sisters, school, and all that good stuff. So just a quick introduction.
So I'm 21, live in Jersey, the best state out there. Graduated from Kearney High, 2017. 21. That's a quick rundown. I got two younger brothers. I'm the oldest. Ethnicity, I'm Dominican. It's from my Spanish people, you already know. But yeah.
I like that. So, what made you start trading in the first place?
Honestly, I think, like I mentioned, I started trading, I want to say 2 years ago.
Okay. It's
been on and off, but 2 years ago, I remember Nordic Atlantic being my first trade. Why? I have no idea. It just looked nice, you feel me? I bought it, I sold it, I think for 11 cents profit. And after that, I was like, damn, bro, I really can make 11 cents. You feel me? It was nothing crazy, but the fact that you can really make money, thin air, so to speak.
Yeah.
Really what caught my attention. And after that, I was just hooked on that.
So you've been trading on and off, obviously, for 2 years, you said. When did you start taking trading seriously?
Honestly, during this pandemic, that's when I really settled down and I realized that, jobs aren't secure. Having to work for somebody, I'm still working, but I was with my company now for 2 years, and during this pandemic, they're like, yo, bro, you just gotta go. And that's when it really hit me. I was like, yo, I gotta sit down and really take this thing serious, because if not, God forbid something like this happens again, I want to be prepared.
Exactly. I actually like that explanation. And when you started taking it serious, I tell everybody this isn't a get-rich-quick scheme, or, you come into this, you think you're going to make a lot of money, because a lot of people can't say, I've had a successful story like Alan, right? So your story being successful, obviously you're at the very beginning of your career. So, it's a successful beginning, we can say. So, even a lot of people can't say that because the first thing they do is blow their account. So what would you say when you started taking it serious? What do you think helped you take it from that level where, you weren't taking it serious to taking it serious? What did you have to do in that transition?
I want to reiterate what you just said.
Okay.
About the get rich quick, because honestly, as a beginner trader, that's you see a lot of people posting these crazy amount of profits, and it's like, damn, I want a little piece of that. In the minds of a lot of people, they really think it's a get rich quick. And to speak my truth, that's how I ended up blowing a lot of accounts. You know what I mean? To get to the point that I'm at, it was several accounts that got blown up, and it's just by over trading, putting everything you got into one trade, holding it on for too long, you know what I mean? And when I sat down and take it serious, that's when I realized, it's really just the discipline and the patience to know, your time is going to come. and it's just about taking it day by day. Keep your goal for the long run, but it's trade by trade. Whether it's $5, $10, or $500, take what you can get and just keep moving forward.
Nice. So I didn't want to interrupt. So I actually didn't know you blew a few accounts, but I love that, we're keeping it real. We need to keep it real. That's the whole point of this. Can you talk about your experience about, blowing your accounts and how hard it was to bounce back? Because we know this is an emotional game, and there's going to be times where, quote unquote, we feel down, feel depressed, and then there's going to be times where we feel like we hit the jackpot and we're happy, jumping up and down and all that good stuff. So when you blow accounts, obviously that's not the happy side. So how did you, take those accounts and turn it into a lesson rather than, giving up?
So I'm glad to talk about this, but so like I said before, it's a lot of the times it's you think it's in your mind is a get rich quick scheme. So when during those transitions, it's very hard to stay motivated. Like you said, emotions does play a big factor.
Mm-hmm.
So when I would blow an account, I would get frustrated, and that's when I said my trading was 2 years on and off, because I would blow an account and then for a couple of weeks I'm like, bro, I'm not really doing this. My mom is right, my friends are right. This thing isn't for everybody. And those are really the things you start to tell yourself in those moments. You really start to doubt yourself and your abilities. But when I started to get more serious into it, that's when I put the real money aside and was like, I'm going to focus more on the emotional part, because that's a very big thing. The technicals is, like you said it a couple of times, the technicals is very simple to learn. It's a very easier concept to learn, but the emotional part is the really hard one. So in those blown accounts, what I really try to do is I try to take self-development to a whole new level, because I learned a lot about myself in trading than anything else. But yeah, that's really how I bounced back from those. I would take those L's and I would sit back on my computer 7:30 at night and I would go over those trades. I'll tune into your lessons and always ask if this happened, what do I do? And if that happened, how could I have done it better? It's just growing from your mistakes. Failure is just an obstacle.
Definitely. And I like that. And how much money did you have to blow through to become successful? Because people always ask that question. So if you don't feel comfortable saying it, then that's perfectly fine.
No, definitely, bro. I think it was just in my Robinhood account alone, it was like $5,000. And
okay.
And we're keeping it real here. I during that whole pandemic, we all got the stimulus check, and at one point I felt that I was confident enough, so I even asked my mom. I was like, Mom, slide me a rack, and she slid me a rack, and I even blew that. So you know what I mean. So I think overall in total maybe $6K, 6, 7.
Okay.
Around that ballpark, and then I was like, I'm tired of losing money.
Okay.
So then that's when I put the real money aside, started paper trading a little bit, and really just getting serious on the overall process.
I like that. And did we make that money back?
Oh, tenfolds, even more.
Nice. So let's show them your 1 month of progress here.
So this 1 month, not including yesterday and the day before.
Okay, cool. Wait, why not the day before? The day?
Because this is November 2nd.
Oh, okay. So yeah, so this, as you guys can see, it's the staircase up. So it's not an elevator up. You guys can see this is a staircase up. So you've had some pretty big fallbacks here on your way up. Do you want to talk about those?
Definitely. So one thing, I work security at a company, and in that company, honestly, all I really do is just sit around and have nobody steal. So during those days, the slower days, I would kind of trade off my phone, which I honestly don't suggest whatsoever. And I think around this time right here, I made a trade. It was to be quite honest, I remember the trade perfectly. It was Amazon. 3,900 puts.
Okay.
And at this point right here, I was up. And the numbers exactly don't really reflect because as you withdraw, I don't know if TOS is the same, but as you withdraw money,
It
starts to fluctuate. But at this point, I think I was up on the trade. It was supposed to be a quick scalp, but then I had to help out a customer. And when I come back to my trading table, when I came back to see my phone, I was down a quick $3,000. You know how Amazon contracts move.
Yeah, very quickly.
So I think I was down $3,000, and then my emotions took the best of me because one, I was frustrated with myself for first getting into that trade, and two, I think I was really just frustrated with the customer because he was, he was in my way.
Yeah.
So after that, I kind of just held that trade a lot longer than I should have. And that was that big first dip, and the next two was this past week, which has been super rough for a lot of traders.
Word. So I like that he explains that real life situations got into his way that day. He couldn't stop the customer coming to him. So it's just real life situations. You're gonna have to trade. And you're going to have to deal with your real life, whether you have, family problems or you have, issues with friends, whatever the case would be. In his case, he had a customer, which is normal because he's at his other job, get in the way, he gets stuck into a trade, and he ends up losing some money. So, that's just real life situation or real life problem that ends up happening. One thing I do want to talk about, you're on Robinhood, right?
Yes.
So a lot of people who are going to watch this video are going to say, well, he's lucky because he's on Robinhood. Only Herbs hop on Robinhood and trade off Robinhood. So, talk about how you've actually become successful on Robinhood. Are you planning to move to another platform? What have you been using to chart and all that good stuff? So, what do you do on basically a daily basis? And are you going to look to move to TD Ameritrade?
Definitely. So I do use Robinhood just because, like we mentioned, I'm still in that beginning stages, and Robinhood was just the easiest brokerage to use and to learn. But this is not what I use to chart. I can't chart using a line graph. You can't use daily candles,
Yeah.
So I do use TradingView to chart.
I see it.
On TradingView, this is where I chart the best, or this is where I use. This is ES, by the way. So
I see it.
But TradingView is what I use to chart. So I would chart on TradingView and this along with Robinhood, because I tell everybody, whoever's trading on Robinhood, you can't just solely rely on those, even the candlestick graph, because those are 10 minutes a piece. So that's what I would use, and I am planning on moving TOS maybe.
Okay.
But I have heard you say TOS, and other traders like Umar say that TOS has been laggy.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I've been looking into different brokerages, but Robinhood is definitely not the end goal.
Excuse me, I didn't hear that very last part.
I said Robinhood is not the end goal.
Okay, yeah.
End brokerage.
I like that. So there's two more subjects that I want to, touch up on and finish on. The first one is, obviously you've had some success here. And, this is beginning success. So one thing we can't do is let things get to our head and say, oh, we're the best. And, I can't even do that either. If I'm making consecutive, green days and having a successful month, especially let's just say the last 2 weeks where I've made $100,000, right? I can't let that get to my mind, because then I'll get overconfident and make dumb trades, and the market will take that money right back from me, because that's just how it works. So in your case, you've had some early success. What do you plan on doing, for one, obviously, to maintain that money and make sure you don't lose it? Two, how are you going to take your trading to the next level?
So with that being said, taking my trading to the next level, honestly, move on to a different brokerage. Right now, I'm looking to buy a PC, because as we know, I'm not the most tech savvy person. So
Me either.
I want to get onto a PC, trading on Robinhood on my phone using my Chromebook. That's not the way even intermediate or professional traders should be trading, especially at a higher level. So right now I'm focusing on buying a PC, building a PC, so I can have that better setup and really dedicate that time slot for it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And with the positions and the growth, honestly, now that it's surpassed the PDT rule,
Okay.
I've made it a lot stricter on myself to hone in on smaller position sizes, not necessarily too small, but like relative to account size. Okay. And risk management, so that I see that staircase up consistently.
And that's like being realistic. Like if someone shows you a straight line up, that's not realistic. This is actually what it looks like to be a trader. You're gonna have down days, up days, down days, up days, and that's just the life of it. And if you can't take that, you can't become a trader. So that's one of the things you got to accept as a trader. So I'm very happy Alan came on here and talked about a few things. The final thing I want to talk about is, so the final thing I wanted you to talk about is if you can give, well, this can technically be you talking to your old self or you talking to viewers who are beginners and want to get into trading. What could you possibly give as far as tips? It could be one tip, it could be a few tips. What would you tell them to do as a trader, and how would you tell them to look at, trading as a whole? Just give, your most professional advice as far as, trading.
Well, honestly, I have a couple friends that ask me the same thing, and I always tell them, and I've heard you speak about it. I've heard other traders speak about it, that trading is honestly more like 80% mental, 20% technical, and it's really about managing those emotions and knowing that, like I said, I've blown several accounts, so it's really about being patient. I'm not saying you have to blow a couple accounts to get right, but it's really that patience that pays off in the end. And taking your time with the trades as well. So the stock market has been around forever and is going to be around for many more years to come. Don't get in quick because stock ABC is going crazy. You know what I mean? Like there's going to be a whole tons of moves later on. Don't feed into any hypes or anything like that just to get into the market, because if you're not ready, the market's going to take that money right back. So just really hone in on those emotional, technical skills first before trying to dump your life savings into a brokerage and hope for the best, because that hope really is what kills accounts.
Yeah, I love that, and I appreciate you hopping on this interview, and I'm very happy for you, Alan. One of the reasons I'm very happy for you, obviously you're part of Stock Hours, and obviously I'm happy for anybody that's successful, but one of the main reasons I've seen you grown from, a couple $100 a day to, I've seen you make a couple $1,000s in one day. So I'm very happy to see that growth, and I'm just happy to be a part of it. And I appreciate you, and I can't wait to see you keep going and become far more successful than you already are.
Thank you so much, brother. It means a lot coming from you, honestly. Yeah. Somebody that, like you said, I've been in the chat for a while now, and seeing all the success in the chat is it's very motivational. It's something that always kept me pushing, and even through the sometimes my unlucky trades and being through the blown accounts, seeing the unity through the chat, it's just really moving, and I appreciate all the love, brother.
Yeah, I appreciate you too, and this is just the beginning. So if you guys like that interview, make sure you hit this thumbs up, and can't wait to have another interview with Alan, maybe down the road when he hits 100K soon. So we'll have another part 2 with Alan. So I'll see you guys on the next video. Peace.